Yo, welcome to Card Sessions. My name is Byron.
And I'm Steve.
And today we're talking about cuts. Let's take a look.
Cool guys, so today's video is all about cuts and we're going to be running through so many different cuts that are out there. Follow us on this tutorial. We're going to be doing different camera angles, running through some of the trickier ones, just so you guys can follow along. Hope you enjoy. Let's do it.
Alright guys, the first cut. It's a Charlier cut. We're talking about the Charlier cut. So the Charlier cut has a long history for card workers. In fact, if you've handled a deck of cards before with some time, it's likely that you've learned already how to do the Charlier cut. But if you haven't, we're going to touch on a few tips today on how to do it. Just a quick background on the Charlier cut. It's over 100 years old. It was printed in the Expert at the Card Table, but it was in a few things before that as well. It's actually mistyped in Expert at the Card Table as the Charlie's cut. Interesting fact. But it was somewhere around that period that this particular maneuver was made. Super easy to do. Let's jump into it. Alright, so the gist of the Charlier cut is super simple. You're going to go from mechanics or dealer's grip. You're going to put your pinky on the base of the deck and you're going to lift all of your fingers up. You're primarily gripping the deck with only your index and your pinky. With your thumb, you're going to drop approximately half the cards from the top section of the deck that's lifted into the palm. And you're going to let go of your index and use that to push those bottom cards up. You're then going to clear the top packet and simply let it all fall back down.
Magic. So the next cut we're going to learn is going to be Swivel Cut. Let's do it. Cool guys, so this cut is not too difficult. It starts off in your right hand, if you're right-handed, left-handed. Now the way I like to do it is thumb just on the back of the cards, your second finger just in the corner like this, giving you room to really with your first finger pick up a packet of the cards, and then you're just pushing them over across a little bit, enough for you to grab them like so in your left hand, and then the rest of the cards go on top. So I suppose at first it can be a little bit knacky, but with time, practice, you'll get it. It's super easy, and we'll have a look at another angle as well. Cool guys, so once you get that, there's another variation on the swivel cut as well. So when you get to the point, just as you're about to grab the cards, get your first finger and meet at the back where your thumb is ultimately holding the cards, and swivel those around into your hand and then close the cut. Cool, so you can also do other variations as well, like multiple cuts into the hand. So have some fun. It's really a first step into getting into some of the cardistry, which we'll get into later, but have fun with that, guys.
Alright guys, so we've touched on some of the basic cuts. Now for something a little bit more difficult. We're going to talk about the revolution cut. Let's take a look. Alright, so the basics of the revolution cut are pretty much identical to the Charlier cut up until you start the revolution. The gist of it is you go from mechanics up into raised grip. Then you're going to drop the packet as you normally would with a Charlier cut. From here, you adjust your index finger from the top short edge to the top of the long side. And here's where things are going to change. You're now going to grip the cards primarily between your thumb and your index finger. You use your pinky for a little bit of support on the bottom, and you're going to push your third finger under the deck, pushing that bottom pack up towards the thumb. At this point, it's going to clear and grip the top packet, which you then rotate around as you lower your index finger to close the two packets again together. This is more difficult to do slower than it is to do it at speed, so just a couple at speed. And you may find that some of the other angles we're about to do may actually make this look a little bit easier to learn. So let's take a look at those. Alright guys, one last one for the road. This one is a little bit advanced. It's going to take a little bit of stretching with the hands, and it might take a little while to get accustomed to. Just spend some time on it when you're sitting on a couch and the cards can't go anywhere because you may drop them a few times. But this is the scissor cut. Let's take a look. Right, so the scissor cut, again, like all the cuts I've taught you tonight, has its foundation in the Charlier cut. To begin, you're going to go from dealer's grip up into the Charlier position, but here's where things change. Unlike the other versions of the Charlier cut, the grip between the pinky and the index finger is tight, but it's not crazy tight. And with this cut, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to go as hard as you can. The purpose being here that as you move your thumb to the base, you're going to get a lot of tension in your hand, and this can release your pinky a little bit if it's not tight enough. So make sure you get a lot of tension applied to your pinky and your index across the length of the card. You're going to hold or support the deck relatively close to the edge with your pinky and about central with your index finger. The closer your index finger is to this top left-hand corner from your perception, the easier the swing will be. It'll clear the corner a little bit easier. For this particular demonstration and the way that I perform it is central. So with your thumb to the bottom left corner, you pick up roughly half the pack and you swing your thumb back around, stretching it its full way from your pinky to your index and then through to your thumb, like so. From here, the packs will naturally clear. Once they have, you'll find it also naturally gets an ankle that goes under the other packet. All you have to do now is start to close the two up. That can look a little bit messy in slow-mo, but once you get used to it, it cleans up nicely. Let's take some closer looks. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully what you've learned today is a little bit more insightful. We've touched on some of the basics of cutting cards. There's going to be a lot more in the future, but hopefully it's touched on the message we were aiming for.
Yeah guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time for some more.
Easy.
Peace.